why Naz is laughing.
Yeah.
So,
Which is weird because normally I ignore your burps because I'm so used to them.
I know, you guys, like, if you have the pleasure of one day, which is funny because this is going to be the topic, if you have the pleasure of one day of really knowing me, you're going to know how much I burp and how insane they are.
People come over and start laughing, and I'm like, "What are you laughing at?" And they're like, "Joy's burp," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even notice it. Like, I
I
didn't
know.
even realize I married a trucker."
Anyways, okay, so Naz,
Yes.
what is your what's your favorite band?
The Replacements.
Yes,
Okay.
and they have a song called "The Bastards of Young,"
Yes.
and in one of in the,
God, I'm so in love with you right now.
and one of because and the reason I've been thinking about this is because in the song the lyrics are
Preach.
the ones who love you least are the ones you die to please.
And the ones that love us best are the ones you'll lay to rest.
Yes. Okay. So we'll talk about death some other time. I don't give a shit about them. Okay. They love us. They're gonna die. Whatever. Okay. So what I want to talk about
Wow.
is what I want to talk about though is the ones that love us the least are the ones that will die to please, because this has been a reoccurring just thread throughout my life, from childhood, that the ones who just they don't care. They don't want to be in your life. They don't want to be in my life. And yet they are the ones who, when I go to make decisions, when I go to post on Instagram, when I go to like paint the color of my house, like whatever it is, they are who pops up in my brain, and I start to try to make decisions so that they will love me.
Mm.
And you have no connection to that whatsoever. And I don't know what it's like to be you.
I know. It's funny because, like, I really.
And I now sometimes I wonder why. I'm like, because now that we have children, I'm like, how do they end up like more like you in this regard than me? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, how did you get to where you're just like, when people are like, when they don't show any interest in you, or they show, can you move your foot?
Yes,
It's
sorry.
driving me freaking nuts. Um,
I
you
don't care
know,
what you think about my foot.
but like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, okay, like, no problem. And you just go on with your life and you never think about that person again. And yet, and it's funny because you're the one with OCD, but I'm the one who's like ruminating about that person who I just couldn't get to love me, or they said they love me and then they're just like, meh. And then I ruminate about them for years. So my question is, Naz, for all the people who are like me, how do we become like you?
You don't want to be like me. No, I don't know. It's weird because I have friends too that think about that kind of stuff all the time. They're like, "Man, I went to this place and this guy was doing this thing. He was doing something that was so annoying. He was like chewing with his mouth open." And I was just like, "I don't I don't have the part of my brain that really cares what other people are doing. I don't know why, whether it's regarding me or not." So like I feel like you know that Seinfeld episode where the girl breaks up with him and she's like, I just think it's not gonna work out. And he goes, "Okay, no
Yeah.
problem."
Yeah.
And she's like kind of mad that he's not more upset. And he's like, "No, it's fine, totally fine." Like I feel like that sometimes. I'm just like, they're like, "Hey, Naz," no, not that this has happened, but people are like,
I
"Naz, I don't like
know.
you at all," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I get it, no problem."
I'm just
But like,
constantly going like, what did I do wrong? You know what I mean? Like, I just
and remember how we just talked about how our salon isn't for everyone? Maybe you're not for
no,
everyone.
but I have to be. I have to be. And why am I not? That's what I just don't get it. And it's funny because I don't when I think of other people, I don't think other people need to be something to me. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But yet, and I definitely know it comes from my mom, right? Like the, total avoidant parent who as an adult doesn't care to be in our lives, in our kids' lives, anything like that. And you're just like, but there's like that just innate base, need in any human that like wants a relationship with their own parent. and yet my parents are just like, "Meh." So then I'm just always like, so then when I have that with other people, I'm just like, gosh, what is it? You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing wrong? But I kind of, so because seeing how your family reacts to you is very different than how my parents react to me. You grew up with like every little thing that you did was just a miracle. Like everything that
Wow.
you did was just a miracle and it's amazing. And even now, it's like if there's an issue that you and I are having with an in-law, it's my fault. It's not your fault, right? Like
Probably
you
on
are
both sides.
still
My family thinks it's your fault, and your family thinks it's your fault.
no, my family likes you. And
That's
I'm
what.
not
No, that's what I said. My family thinks it's your fault. Your
yes.
family thinks it's your fault also. I'm always in the right.
It's so true. It's so true. So, yeah, I just, you know what I mean? Like, so I've had to learn the skill of not caring, not giving people my power. You know what I mean? Like, not making decisions for these people who don't care at all and who have shown me that they're shitty people, who've shown me that they don't want to have a relationship or be in my life in any kind of way, and having to just go like, okay, like I've had to learn that skill, and I think you've been really good about teaching me that skill, but yet I'm just like, okay, how do we make our kids like you?
Well, you do preach that to our kids. Like our son came home the other day and was like, "My friend doesn't believe that I have UFC 300 flavored Prime. He doesn't believe me."
Oh my God, please tell me, okay, if you guys have, if anybody's listening and you have children who are like in second, third, fourth grade, are your kids obsessed with Prime and do they collect them? Because our kid literally, like, we have to take him Prime hunting.
Hmm.
So tell us, some
Also,
way.
do you know the words Sigma, Riz, Ohio, Skibbity?
Oi, 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 baka. What
Yeah, Gen Alpha's in trouble. But
they really are.
hopefully we can teach them about not caring. But we're just like, who cares what your friend thinks? Who
I
cares
know.
if he doesn't think you have a bottle of drink?
Yeah, Prime, by the way, is a bottle of drink.
It's coconut. Well, we do the hydration version, so
Yeah,
it's not an
our
energy
kid's not
drink.
getting energy drinks.
They don't need it.
They don't need it.
But it's coconut water with but they taste like liquid popsicles.
Anyways, he came home and said,
Yeah, my friend doesn't think I have
have-
this primer. And instead of being like, take a picture of it and send it to him, we just, it's like, who cares what that kid thinks? Like, you have it. And also,
yeah,
why do you even care that you have it? But that's just something that means something to him. But, like, hopefully, and I get, obviously you can get into bullying and things like that, that it's not always easy just to say, who cares what everyone thinks about me.
yeah.
But
Well, you were literally telling them yesterday that there was a kid in your school that had the last name Wiener,
he did.
and he was the most popular kid in school because he was just like, yeah, it's my last name.
He's like, yeah, my last name's Wiener. It's funny. Wiener, Wiener, Wiener. It's
Like,
funny.
whatever. Like, you can't make fun of it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like he made fun of himself before anybody else could,
Yeah.
and then he's like the captain of the football team. 'Cause
Look,
it's just like,
I'm gonna be on. I'm going through the process of trying to like detach that need for people. Can you guys hear our cat? She caught her toy. So it's like detaching that need for other people's approval, attaching that need for other people's validation and acceptance and like all of that stuff.
because
But
where does that come from? That's something deeper.
it's something so deep and it's so intrinsic within us. And again, I think like a lot of people deal with it. I don't think I'm the only one. There's a cat.
And Luna.
I think, I definitely know I'm not the only one. I know that I've had to coach so many of my own students like through the process, and it's it's painful and it hurts, and but really having to detach that need from other people that only truly you can give yourself.
You know what I think it is too on my side? Because I know that you talk about imposter syndrome a lot. I don't really have that, but it's not because I think I'm great. It's because I think I'm pretty good. Honestly, like I once had a
No, but
teacher.
that's the thing. You grew up with pretty good was like, you're doing great, kid. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, true. You're right. But
My
I
pretty
didn't
good was
like
just
not good
like,
enough.
but even yeah, no, I don't know. It was just like no matter what the scale, no matter where you were on the scale, you were treated as though don't get too big. Like if you were
Were you gonna
wrong,
say
if
too big for your britches?
yes, if
Nice.
you were too, if you were
What would
subpar,
Paul and Aunt B think of this?
if you were if you were subpar, horrible,
Hmm.
right? And then if you were actually succeeding, you better be careful because you're gonna get disappointed. So you better get back down, right? So no matter where you were on the spectrum, it was like you better stay in this place of just again, just don't even think about overachieving. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
mean, yeah, I just remember.
Which somehow then I became a massive overachiever because I've been dying for anybody with authority to be like, good job.
Well, and I think that's what like yeah, you're right though. My parents were never like, you better get A's. They're like, oh, you got B's, great, like awesome. I'm a solid B student.
What? No, you weren't. You were a straight A
No,
LMA.
I was not straight A LMA. Look at my, I was like A's and B's, yeah. But I think that I remember I had a teacher one time. I answered a few questions in class in a row, and people were like, "Dang, Naz knows a lot." And the teacher, which kind of could have sounded like a diss, but I actually took it as a compliment. He said, "Naz knows a little about a lot," and I think that's true. Like I'm like pretty
Again,
good at a lot
you
of different
took
things.
that as a compliment
I did because it means I'm
because
I'm
because you
I'll
were
get
you
you
grew
there
up
in a
just
bunch of
being
different.
you grew up just being complimented a lot.
Yeah, but it was
I
like
think.
I'm a pretty good baseball player. I'm pretty good at basketball. I'm pretty good at football. I can play guitar. Okay, like I'm like everything's like middle, like jack of all trades, master of none. But like I like a lot of different things, and like
Yeah,
I can put up some shelves. They'll be a little crooked, but not to the naked eye. You know what I mean? Like
I'll notice it
yeah. But I think
because
that
I'm hyper vigilant on messing things up.
yeah. But I just don't care. But no, I think that's the thing is like that's why we complement each other though. Like in the
Yeah.
salon area kind of thing, like with owning a business together and having kids, it's like I'm gonna be a little more lax and you're gonna be a little more like want things a certain way. But I think we even each other out to where you can go like, okay, yeah, that doesn't need to be as like regimented, or I might need to go, yeah, we do need to be a little more strict on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I say all that to say, post what you want to post. Only have relationships with people who want to have relationships with you. I know I've had to really step back from relationships because I'm like, oh, this person isn't like I'm doing all the work here to keep this relationship going, and then having to realize like this person's not giving anything back, and having to just detach and just go, okay, that's fine. Like it's not because they're doing anything wrong, I'm doing anything wrong. It's just the nature of some relationships.
Hmm.
Um, and also, again, having to really sit with myself and have mantras that I repeat to myself that I give myself the validation and the acceptance and love and like, reward that I want to give myself. I don't need it to come from my parent anymore. I don't need it to come from even from you or anybody else. Like only I can give myself those things. So even though it's definitely a work in progress, I don't think that I'm ever really going to be quote unquote free from it, but I do believe that I've come to a place where I recognize it within myself pretty quickly. We had a situation where my parents drove up pretty. Did we mention this on another episode? I don't remember,
I don't
but
know.
they drove through. They didn't come say hi to us. And the span of me spiraling and being hurt, and then this, and getting to a place where I came to acceptance and just, you know, consciously detaching the need for them to come see me. I was like probably like 45 minutes, where in the past I would have been wrecked for it from days and I would have held on to the resentment and all of those things. And so I just want to say, like, if you're in that position where you're like, you need other people to give you those things, you know, I see you, I hear you. And hopefully we can all be like Naz one day who like doesn't ever give a fuck, but like,
I care about other things that mean way less. So,
yeah,
you
no,
know,
I
I
know
guess,
you have
yeah.
your things too, but in an instance like this, if that's something that you're dealing with, like you're not alone, and this is just that call to really consciously disconnect the need from other people, and then start to give that to yourself. Give those things that you need, give them to yourself. If you need help with that, you can give me a call. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Should we call this episode "Bastards of None"?
Bastards of Young.
Bastards of Young.
Hmm.
I thought it was Bastards. No, I don't know. I forget things. I don't know names of songs. I don't know
Correct.
names of bands. No, sometimes I know names of bands, but like not really.
Yeah.
But I'll know all the lyrics.
Yeah, and I
I'll be
won't.
able to sing along.
But I'll, yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Okay.
Bye.